Okay, hello once again. Welcome to it another episode of Voice That Radio Guy Show, right? So you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, and share it right now so that we can just simply grow this here platform. That, as I mentioned, it is all about the real things, the real talk, the real chalas. As I always tell you, I can't be fake. I seriously cannot be fake for anything. Um, Now, when I think about that, when you say fake, what do I mean fake? You know how sometimes in life you come across certain situations, certain scenarios, certain people that you think were going a specific way. They were going about things in the way that maybe you were expecting the good out of them, like completely. You didn't think that this person has any bad bone in their body. But then it turns out that no, dude, it's all the way otherwise. It's not like the way you were thinking. This person was actually in your life or getting into your life for a different reason than what you thought. If I can make an example for you, good example. I don't know if you remember the first ever episode where I mentioned something about an ex. Hold that thought quickly. Quickly have to grease the lips. I can see that it's a bit dry. You know. Yeah, we all do that, right? Yes, we do. But ladies, obviously, with your lip gloss and lipstick and everything like that, it's a complete different story. But anyway, remember that other time when I asked you that what do you do when your ex calls you, right? Remember that question. I finally have an answer. I think it's like 2 months later or 2.5 months later because we're in right now in September, right? August, entire August went by. Yeah, nearly about 2 months because it was in July, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was somewhere in July. My tip to you right now, if your ex calls or texts or fucking sends you smoke signals, a telegram, or whatever, turn the fuck around and run the opposite direction. All right? Do yourself that favor, please. I guess we are all different. Because the one thing that I've seen in terms of when you look at comments on social media, especially on the Twitter streets, and then also for those who are still on Facebook, Namia also, often go through there and see the comments there. Yeah, you often find those people who will tell you that, yo, listen, I went back and yeah, nothing changed. So I guess for me, right now I'm talking from personal experience, right? So Mina, as I said, my ex hollered at me about 2 months ago, right? And this is on the back of being on the healing road, healing journey for about 3.5 months. And I'm not gonna lie, she done fucked that shit up. She really messed up my progress at the time, and I really didn't appreciate that. And of course, she knew how I would react to certain things, certain words, because she knew me that well. I mean, we were together for good 9, 10 years. So, with all of that being said, there was on 2 occasions that we saw each other, but it was briefly. It wasn't a long-winded. I won't tell you the situation or the scenario as to how we saw one another, but we did. And then there was a little bit of communication here and there. And then, but long story short, this past weekend, I think, the one thing that I often tell people is after the entire suicide attempt and everything like that that's been happening in my life, I have gotten closer and closer to God. I fixed my relationship with the Lord Jesus, and I have been at peace. That's why I say that when she came along about, 2 months ago, she really messed up my progress because, it was one of those things where I couldn't help myself but to be on some, okay, what does she want? So now, this past weekend, after I had a really crappy week last week, last week was really, really, really tough. Got some bad news at work, and yeah, it was just uh, yeah, it was a really really tough week. So I told myself that this past weekend that I'm just going to dedicate it to be one with the Lord, be in prayer, praise and worship, and just strengthen my spirituality, because that is one of my biggest core values. I'd lost it along, over the years, but then it's one of those things that, as I say, that this year I told myself that I'm going to fix myself. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to become a better man for myself. And then, of course, when we allow certain people to come in and ruin things, we tend to lose focus, right? So, as I was saying, this past weekend, something happened. Long story short, I actually realized and I saw it for myself that once again, had I allowed my ex to come and have some sort of place in my life again, I was literally going to be shooting myself in both feet, my knees, breaking every little bit of my bones when I was trying to, get back on my feet and continue this beautiful journey of mine, in everything that I do. And as I said, for myself, what I have done, what I did in my 20s, and some of the things I did it without fully dedicating myself into it. But then I saw what I can do, and I can do great things, not just good things, great things. Because it's as we always say, there's a difference between skilled, talented, and blessed and gifted, you know? Okay, blessed is on top. That's when you know that in everything that you do and people try to get you down, they simply cannot succeed. And so they need to go out there and find other means, like bagele tinyangeni, bagloye, just to try and get you to fail. But then when you are blessed, when you are touched by the blood of Jesus, when the guardian angels, when your ancestors, when everything is in your favor and you are meant to do great things in this world, you are blessed and nothing can stop that. But remember, from your side, you also need to work hard to ensure that you don't forget that. You remember your prayer. Oh, crap, stupid spider. Sorry about that. Okay, spider gone. And then we move along. Then there are those who are gifted and talented. Yes, you have a talent, you work hard on it, and you do what you need to do to also protect yourself. And then there are those who are skilled. Somebody who actually realized, how can I put it, that they want to do something, and then they do everything that they can do to enhance a certain skill and be a contributing member to society. That's just how I look at as one of the ways that I look at individuals in life. And then, of course, you will come across people who do not want to see you succeed. They don't wish you well at all. And they try to take whatever you have away from you in any way whatsoever they can. And if they can't do it, ngemandla abo, obviously they're going to try other means and other plans. You know what? That's for them then. We're not, just as long as you know who is on your corner, who is in your corner, and what you have to offer in this world. It's fantastic. I love it. And then as time goes by, as I say, you you do come across that person that tends to come into your life, and you guys get into a relationship. You have such awesome times together, and they get to know you. But somewhere along the line, something happens. We all know relationships end for various reasons. And I think right now, depending on the type of person that you are, if lack of a better way to put it, there are many reasons why people break up. Some are really hectic, and those on some you cannot come back from this. And then others are really silly and somewhat childish reasons from which I feel like you can honestly sit down and be adults and grown up about it and talk about things, and try to fix things. And in some ways, people are able to do that. Those are one of the few occasions where it can be deemed okay to go back to your ex, right? Let's say maybe a silly reason, honestly, a silly reason that I've seen on the comments was, one of those, but he or she's untidy, and they broke up because of that reason. That, according to me, is really pop. You can honestly fix that. If you really care for that person that much, you can honestly help him or her, because I also know some untidy girls, okay? It's not just guys. Him or her to become better and become more tidier. That is honestly one of those times where you can honestly work and go back to an ex. But if your ex had to go and cheat on you, fall pregnant with another man's child, and that dude decides to run the hell away and be on some, hey yo, no, I ain't ready for this. First and foremost, I knew that when you have a person, but yet I got what I wanted, because at the end of the day, the thing that I always tell people is that as machita, trust you me, there are some of us who are patient for days. I can wait for years to get to smash you, because it's one of those things of you're a challenge. Some guys are like me. I love a challenge. I don't like something or someone who's easy. No, make it challenging. If it's gonna be a case of good see, go out on a date and we get to smash after the first date. I'm not gonna take you seriously moving forward, because you gave it up too easily. But then, let's say it's one of those things of you making me work for it. By the time it happens, I'm like, yeah, I done put in the hard work. And, depending on what type of a guy I am, if I was just literally chasing your ass, I'm going to be like, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. A few times here and there, and then I'm gone. But then if you're like Calvin, if you're like me, who I'm more attracted to, as we all know, the inner you. No, not that I'm walking around with x-ray glasses or anything like that. No, but I want to know the real person before we want to take it to that step of connecting, our souls together. Yes, I know I might sound cheesy. Fuck that. That's who I am. Before we get there, I need to get to know you, type of thing. So that's why right now I can honestly say that I'm looking forward to my next relationship, because my next relationship, as I've told myself, is going to be my last relationship, because that relationship is the one that I am going to turn from relationship to marriage, you know? So I know that I can commit. And I know that in that commitment, I give it my all. I give it 150%. I do what is needed from me. As you know, as often you see that stupid line, a man must. Screw you and a man must. Mean I will do what I need to do in a relationship to prove, or not to prove, but to do manly things, if lack of a better word to put it. And that's one of the things that I pride myself in, thanks to the man who raised me. I think I know, no, not that I think, I know that he did a pretty good job. And this past weekend, I, I often find it funny when you hear that they say that this person doesn't like you for no apparent reason at all. And here's the beautiful thing, and here's the where I can say I know, because I sort of felt it over the years, but I didn't give two craps about it. When you hear that apparently your partner or former partner's friends don't like you for whatever reason, and no reason at all at times, and you're on some, you know what? I knew it. And do you think I gave a damn? No, I didn't give two fucks. Because here's the thing about me, I'm not dating your friends, I'm dating you. That's the type of person that I am. So, when that was told, when that little revelation was made to me, it was like, you know what? I knew it. Don't give a damn. And now the beautiful thing about it is, when if you ever find yourself in that position of you looking for reasons, you want more and more and more and more and more reasons as to why you maybe need to end things, or maybe you don't want to go back, or maybe you want to go back. There are those people who draw up their lists, pros and cons, about why something is good and bad, or whatever the case may be. And in this situation that I'm currently in, the cons are a mile ahead of the pros. It's like I'm trying my ultimate best. I tried. I honestly thought about it for days, actually. Ever since the initial contact was made, to be like, okay, drew up my list, pros, cons. I'm like, okay, one valid reason why it would be good for me to go back or try to work it out, or that. And I was like, okay, I can't come up with one. Con number one, baby by another man. Number two, selfish behavior that put my health at jeopardy. Number three, person didn't care about my, psychological well-being, or, whatever. Because honestly speaking, I often tell you that, listen, your actions, if you are in a relationship situation, you need to remember sometimes your actions can also affect your partner based on what it is. If it's something good, of course it's going to affect your partner in a positive way. Something negative, and they find out about it, negative way. It's only natural. I mean, common sense. Anywho, so there I go. So now, do you realize I've got 4 or 5 cons? no pros as yet. And as time goes by, and I think more and more and more and more about it, I'm adding on more cons than pros. So the end of the day, I'm like, no, Calvin, this is not worth it. This is not worth your time, your energy. You tried, my brother. If there's one thing that I can tell myself right now and truly, truly know and back it up by with evidence. And listen, what I'll always say is I am not a saint. I am not completely innocent in any of this whatsoever. But I still say the one of the biggest things that it takes a very special man to stay and take care and raise and look after another man's child, in the sense of not that you found the child there already or that she came with the child into the relationship. That's a different sort of scenario, because once again you sort of, and as always, you always have a choice to either stay or leave. So for me, I stayed from, I think, when she was about 3 months pregnant, somewhere there, because still remember the dates, the dates, the setup, and everything like that. When I was told that I'm pregnant, but it's not yours, but still I stayed. I stayed an extra 4 years, of which I should not have stayed a single month longer. But we live and we learn. And we learn in a very hurtful way at times. But that's okay. You know? It's completely okay, because I'm speaking from my experience here. Now I know my bullshit meter for everything. Now I know, not that I'm saying that I'm going to meet the same person who is just like my ex. No, definitely not. I've never dated the same person or same type of personality in my life. It's always different personalities. But, I always say the two meaningful relationships in my life that I've had both ended, or the two long relationships that I had, and obviously meaningful, ended with both my exes cheating on me on multiple occasions. So, there came a time when I thought that something is wrong with me, but then, no, nothing is wrong with me. Fuck that. Once again, when a person cheats, don't look at yourself. Don't ever make that mistake. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. Nothing. Okay? It's that other person. They're the ones who are that selfish, that unthoughtful about you. They disregard everything, everything and anything that means something. Because I don't know, for me, one of the dumbest excuse I was given by this ex right now was he was an escape from my reality. Why the fuck do you want to escape from your reality? It's your reality. It's your life. You know what people do when they want to escape? And those that are in relationships, those that live with their partners under the same roof, those who are co-parenting, you switch your phone off on a weekend and you decide to do something out of the ordinary. you go out of town with your fucking partner, not some random man whom, as I say, in this case, as another man, you can see you could say, good luck. But I'm not that bitter guy. I'm not that guy. Listen, this was just not meant for me, and that's fine. It's absolutely fine. 9 years of my life, not wasted, but in a way wasted, because I stayed an extra 4 years that I shouldn't have. It should have been nipped in the butt back then. But yeah, as I said, I was trying something to see. I was trying to see something, and now I know. Yeah, next time. It's one of those things that I'm hoping and I'm praying every single day, and I ask the Lord, and I ask Him to, whoever that person is, who has been who's waiting for me, who I'm waiting for, that whenever our paths cross, or maybe they already have. That's how I feel about a certain someone. But let me not count my chickens before they, count my eggs before they hatch, or, yeah. See who I ate. It's not my mother tongue, okay? Let me not count my eggs, before they hatch. Let me not count my chickens before they hatch. I'm not counting chickens or eggs here, man. I don't know. I'm not all McDonald. I don't have a farm. Yeah. Oh. So, yeah, whatever happens, it will happen because it's meant to be. More and more, as I immerse myself and I am dwelling in the word of the Lord, the more I go in day by day, week by week. I have what I consider my prayer warriors. I know maybe it might sound selfish of me, but for the longest time, when I was out of touch with my Lord, with my Jesus, with my spirituality, with the core essence of what I am all about, I was all over the place. I I was lost. I I had so many ideas, but I didn't want to implement them. I didn't have direction. As they say, an idea is as good as nothing if you're not going to do something about it. And that's true. So right now, to this, then if I can say, knowing what I'm capable of, I'm just thinking about, under the difficult circumstances of my ex falling pregnant with another man's child, I was able to get onto one of the biggest radio stations in the country, and I was able to hold down a show where initially I was given a 6-month contract, and within that 6 months, I did enough for them to be able to renew it again for another 6 months, and then it got renewed again for another 2 months. So they saw something that was there, but then due to what was happening in my personal life, I couldn't give it my ultimate best. Yeah, bo. And that was an opportunity lost, gone. Now just imagine to yourself, because I've been imagining this, if like this was 5 years ago. Yeah, it was 5 years ago. So I'm just imagining what could have happened had I decided to say that, yo, you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up, right? So from my side, I'm outie. And I wish I had the strength back then that I have right now to say, No. I feel for you. I understand your pain. I sympathize with you. Yes, it sucks that right now there's nobody to help you through this pregnancy, but I'm not that person because you know who made you pregnant, and it's not me. So now why must I take care of another man's responsibility? But yeah, I wish that had happened, but it didn't. I decided and we decided, and throughout, the past 4 years, whatever we were trying to do, clearly it didn't work. And clearly, this, once again, it's like that typical analogy that I love, when it comes to describing a broken heart. Can't remember who they say who did it, whether it was a pastor or a motivational speaker or one of those people, where they took a glass, obviously dropped it on the floor, and it splattered, broke obviously to 100 pieces. I'm not going to say thousands of pieces, no, 100 pieces. And the guy was on the glass sort of like symbolizes your heart, symbolizes you, symbolizes everything that you are all about. If it breaks because you have put all that power in the hands of somebody else, you are not in control of your life because there's a reason why they dropped you. And then he apologized to the glass and said, sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm sorry. All right, sweet. You accept the apology and say that, all right, I forgive you. But is that glass the same? No, it's broken. Now, what do we do afterwards? We pick up the pieces and we try to glue them back together again. And here's the interesting thing. You can pick up all the pieces, find the smallest one, have the best glue in the world, have the best people to put that glass back together again, and they'll be able to do it. But will that glass ever be the same again? No, absolutely not. So think about yourself as that glass. Do you want to put yourself in the hands or put your power in the hands of somebody who doesn't give a damn about you? No, don't do that. And as much as women see red flags, us as guys, we see them too. It's just that we tend to be those people who also give you the benefit of the doubt and say that, no, you are not going to do this. You are not going to treat me like that. You